Today is a new day.
Today is a new day.
Today is a new day.
Today, as you know, is a very big day.
Big day.
Big day.
Big day.
Big day for me. And a big day for you.
Why?
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 Today's Friday. That's why.
That's fine.
Good enough for me. Have fun, guys.
All right. It's showtime.
Good morning, DJ and PK. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome in on a Friday morning. Well, the Las Vegas Summer League is underway, and that is a very different game for your Utah Jazz. They got beat after 3 straight wins in Salt Lake City. The Wizards came out with a couple of guys who had really good games. Who, Trey Johnson's played in the league, and he was really strong. Dybantsa, who was obviously not played in the league, but the number 1 pick in the draft, had an impressive game. He came out and really took it to the Jazz. And really what we saw against the in BYU against Big 12, especially late in the season, just determined to get to the glass. Just absolutely determined to drive to the rim again and again and again and again and again. Did not shoot the 3 well, but ended up having a productive game. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. For Darryn Peterson, too many turnovers, 8 of them again, game high. He did finish with 21 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists on 6 of 18 shooting. And for Dybantsa, he was 7 of 18. Both guys showed that it's really difficult to contain them one-on-one. Because of that, Peterson did see a lot of double teams, the blitzes, guys running at him. That'll be harder to do based on who he's on the floor with in the regular season, but, it's hard to leave Markkanen in double. It'll be hard to leave Keontae George in double. You get the picture. A couple other things happened. Ace Bailey, apparently there's some kind of back problem that they referenced on the broadcast, so he didn't play in the game. And then, ironically, after Peterson had cramps that cost him, famously several games and parts of other games, Dybantsa left the game with the game hanging in the balance. And he left with less than 2 minutes to go and sat out. And now it's being described as a leg cramp on the broadcast in a postgame. He said it was just sore and he'd be fine. But I've read reporting about a cramp later on. Kind of ironic when you think about it. So, we can nitpick and pull this apart. Dybantsa had a great rim-rattling dunk. There were flashes of good defense from Peterson as he deflected passes or shots and really helped the Jazz in good comeback. They were terrible early on. They scored the first bucket. They gave up 10 in a row, and then it was uphill the rest of the way. They were down double digits of points. They got it to 8, to 6. They kept scrambling. They got it to 3, but they couldn't get over the hump and win the game. So, not that really matters in the Summer League. Now they get a couple days off and see if everyone can get healthy, get rested, and they will play the Clippers Sunday night. That game will not be on ESPN. That game will be on Amazon Prime Sunday night. I think it's at 8 o'clock. So, there you go. All right, for more on this game, let's hear from the man himself. Here's Darryn Peterson after the game.
Darryn, is it crazy to kind of look around the game and see that many NBA stars, former NBA stars, sitting around in the crowd?
Yeah, I think we had a good crowd today. I've seen a lot of NBA guys. I actually was talking a little bit with Anthony Davis in the game, which was crazy to me.
Is that someone like you're like, I can't believe that I'm going to be playing against him when it comes
Nah. No more like starstruck because now I'm part of the NBA, but it was just cool to see them there.
Darryn, a lot of doubles thrown at you off the screens in the corner center today. What do you think about the pressure? How do you feel about it?
I didn't feel no type of way about it. That was a game plan. We lost, so it probably worked a little bit, but I'm expecting it. So good to get used to it now, play against it now, and just grow. It's still Summer League, so looking forward to the season and the rest of Summer League.
How old were you when guys started doubling you?
I don't know, as long as I can remember.
Go ahead, Dave.
Late in the first half, you were calling an ISO on AJ and Tyler. Woke up, people on their feet, and a lot of noise. While you were focusing on getting the stop, how much of that other stuff?
Never. Nothing ever bothers me.
At all?
No. Not while I'm hooping, no.
Did you look forward to the opportunity, even though this isn't a you versus AJ game, it's your team versus his team, but just had the opportunity to get
I'm always game? Yeah, look forward to every game we play. Obviously, this one was a bigger one. So, but yeah, I was looking forward to it.
Is that something that you're going to be thinking about, like, during your career, like, that? Is that something you're going to be thinking about, like that was the guy that taken ahead of me.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I think every draft, every year, people are saying this guy went ahead of me, I'm going against them. But like I said before, the draft's over now. Like, it is what it is. I'm part of Utah Jazz. I'm super happy about that.
Darryn, there were 3 or more players with 8 or more fouls in this game.
I was one of them. I had 9.
Yeah, you were one of them.
Yeah.
How are you feeling so far with that level of physicality?
I think I'm doing fine. The whistle's different. I talked to the players. The whistle's different from Summer League and regular season. So, yeah, they told me I had 10. It was a physical game, so I was going out with 9. So that's what I did.
How do you adjust to the speed of the game, in particular on defense and in transition?
Got to be better in both. But that's part of the growing. It's a Summer League, so still adjusting. But, yeah, I got to be better. You too.
How's it been for you in game 3 already seeing several different coverages and different looks for yourself?
It's been good. I'm back having fun. I wasn't really experiencing that much at Kansas. I was off it a ton, so just to feel like myself again. And, being on the ball, that's what comes with it, being double teamed and different coverages. So keep adjusting.
Are you expecting to play on Sunday?
Yeah.
I was having Keanu before the game started. I talked to him a little bit about you. He was like, man, it's been a pleasure having you around. How's it been having Keanu?
It's been great. Yeah, that's I know you're only going into year 4, but that's like a vet to me, another guard that I'm gonna be playing with. And, I think we're gonna be a great backcourt all the time. So picking his brain, and he get on me some time today. He was talking to me during the game and stuff. So definitely like a big brother to me right now.
Darryn, this is
Darryn, fans were loving you when you and AJ going ISO. Were you expecting that? Like the crowd was like.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen sooner or later.
Obviously, it's your 3rd professional game. Just how much fun are you having out there?
A ton. It's where I love to play. So anytime I step on the court, I'm having a ton of fun. Definitely trying to win, but that's what makes it fun to me.
Darryn, you watched Summer League growing up throughout the years. Now that you're actually here at Vegas, what's something that is either unexpected or something about this atmosphere or actually needed?
Something unexpected. Everything that's coming my way, I feel like I've been thinking about, dreaming about. So nothing really caught me off guard. Maybe a little bit today with me getting 9 fouls. That caught me off guard. I kind of got mixed up with the refs not calling and then calling. So but that's probably the biggest adjustment to that.
All right, there is Darryn Peterson. Now, here is the head coach, Steve Wojciechowski.
I thought Washington's ball pressure really affected us. And in our guys' defense, we had 4 new guys playing, and they should play. But it's a lot to ask to meet new guys the morning of a game and try to be a coherent unit. We'll get better at that. I was proud of our guys' fight. Like down 20, our guys never stopped battling. Slowly, never able to get rhythm, but we had more good possessions.
Fouls aside, what did you like from Darryn today?
Well, I mean, this is a great example. Teams are going to come after Darryn. I mean, we don't have tape on the other teams. They have tape on us. And if you watch Darryn's 2 games, he's going to be the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd guy on the scouting report. I thought overall he handled the pressure pretty well. We can help him more. And the longer this group plays together, the more we'll be able to help them. Very similar to what we saw in Salt Lake.
Well, you can have a voice in all of this one.
Yeah, I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
The Summer League every summer to start off with the number 1 breakfast and late in the first half, you see those guys match up. I know you're here to coach, but what do you think of the atmosphere, like the gym is anticipating?
Yeah. Look, they're 2 of the best young players on the planet, and people are excited about it, and rightly so. And those guys, from a very early age, have had to learn to handle the spotlight. And I'm not sure any games they've played in has been as big a spotlight as this one, because of what they both have done individually. And I thought both of them handled it really well under tough circumstances. Look, this is not an NBA team with training camp and all of those things. I mean, you're in some respects throwing these guys into the fire, and I thought both kids handled the fire exceptionally well.
All right, there is Steve Wojciechowski. All right, we will take a break. When we come back, we got to get to a lot of football. We've got more interviews that we haven't gotten to from the Big 12 Media Days. Cougar players, athletic director Brian Santiago, Keanu Tanuvasa. We will hear from him coming up next. Stay with us. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Good morning, DJ and PK. It's 97.5 KSL Sports Zone. All right, time to head back to the Star in Dallas. Some of the stuff you might have missed from the Big 12 Media Days. Keanu Tanuvasa going to be a big part of the Cougars this year. A big part. Well, that's why he's at the Big 12 Media Days, right? Here he is with the guys on the Zone.
Great, sir. How about yourself?
You know what? I'm doing a lot better now. We get to chat with you. How is your summer going all right?
It's been great. Yeah, I've got a lot of time to spend with the wife, a lot of time to spend with the boys, getting ready for a baby coming in November. So taking advantage of what I got now and then excited for what's to come.
You came in with a big reputation, right? You did great things at Utah and expecting to do those things at BYU. Now you're going into your second year. Do you feel like personally that you want to ramp up expectations for yourself even more?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think at Utah, I was blessed to have 3 years there, and I think going into the last year, I made Utah my own. I knew what the scheme was, I knew who my coaches and my teammates were, and I made it my own. Coming into BYU last year, I had a lot of expectations that were difficult to adjust to, considering that I still had to learn the defense, had to learn my teammates, and I had to learn the culture and the style. Well, I feel like I've made it my own. It feels like that third year at the University of Utah that I was blessed to perform so well. That I'm so excited to go into this season because I've made it my own again.
What's the locker room at BYU like when Kalani's out in front right before you guys take the field? I imagine that guy can captivate that locker room, but excited to hear his voice and be able to do that the very first game.
Yeah, Kalani's as you know, he's a very well-spoken man. He's calm and collected, which is great because I think the team needs that presence there. But when the time is necessary to get right and to get excited, to get amped, I think he definitely is able to ignite that fire right before we step out.
And the dancing's not bad either.
Oh, the dancing's great.
He's really got it.
He's got the moves. He's got them.
All right, so I want to go through a scenario here, and it's a what will you do? Because I guarantee you've had these conversations.
Sir.
Let's say you're in a hotel room, November 6th. And
what's November 7th?
That's maybe the Utah game.
Okay, I didn't know
and then
that.
all of a sudden you get a phone call from the missus. She's like, "Hey, these things are like 90 seconds apart."
Yeah.
What happens there in the Tanuvasa house?
That's a great question.
Don't answer it, man. You don't have to. Just wait till the time comes and then make your choice.
Hold on. Just wait about 36 hours. Everything will be good.
Exactly. I'm just going to tell her, hold on a little bit.
Just trying to save you some marital.
Take some deep breaths.
Exactly. I'll probably God's timing is perfect. I can't argue with it. So if it's time, the baby takes definitely more of my life over that rivalry game. But the Lord will make it so I can play.
Yeah. Have faith.
Exactly.
He's got faith. He's bigger than you.
Little faith, Scotty. He's from Logan, It's that Logan thing.
The BYU defense has been fascinating to see it develop under Jay Hill and now Kelly Papinga these last few years. The linebackers have got a ton of run, and even the secondary, which historically hasn't been one of BYU's stronger points, but they're developing defensive backs, and we just had Evan Johnson, potential pro player, and now it's like the spotlight has turned from where it might have been before at the back end to the front end. It's like, oh man, these guys, they've got to get pressure on that quarterback, blah, blah, blah. And we know you in the middle, but you're not going to be able to do it alone. Tell us about the brothers on the offensive line that you believe are ready to make this contribution to where, all right, the defensive line is just as good as the linebackers in the secondary.
For us on the defensive line, I think we've recognized that we need to step it up a little bit. I think last year was great. I think it was a little difficult. I think Jay Hill ran his defense a little bit around Jack Kelly and Glasker, which was great, and it worked for us, as you can see. But now it's sticking to with K-Pop taking over, who was our DN's coach. letting the pass rush be between the big boys up front and adding a backer here and there. It's being wise with our timing about when we choose to blitz, but letting the boys eat. Let them get after it. Don't just try and open up gaps for linebackers, but let's get home. And I think not just that coming from Coach K-Pop, but that's a thing that's happened for me as well that I recognized last year learning the defense. I was wanting to open up these gaps for my linebackers and wanting to eat these blocks so that we could make these plays. I'm at the point that it's like I can do that, and I can also do that 5 yards in the backfield. They'll stick to me if I'm getting off the ball and I'm winning in the backfield. And so we're looking forward to implementing that more going into this year. And with Justin Kirkland being back and his big body up and frame up front, Hunter Clegg being more developed, Tau Seeley, we got Nusi Tamoipeau. We got a lot of guys that are phenomenal. Anisi Purcell, Bodie Schoonover, that can pass rush. They just need to mentally see it and go do it.
I think that's really an interesting point because so much of what you guys did was space eating, essentially not letting offensive linemen get to the second level, keeping your linebackers clean. To have a coach that says, no, guess what? You guys get a feast at the big boy table too.
Yep.
I can't imagine the energy that brings to the table.
It's very exciting. It's what we've wanted. As a defensive lineman, you want to create havoc. And that's what we want to do as a collective unit is we want to beat the guy in front of us. And if we can, let's take two of them. But let's do it getting into the backfield. Let's do it dominating towards the quarterback and towards the running back so we can make plays as well.
Last year, you were kind of big news, making a move, and now it's not even a big deal anymore. Kyle Whittingham said, hold my beer. I'm going to go to Michigan. But that having that transition year under your belt, being at BYU, and being able to, set down roots, how big is that going into the season for you?
Absolutely critical. I think I'm a person that builds from the foundation up, and I think when I tried to shift the foundation from the U to BYU, it didn't hold too well. And so I played well. It was good, and I'm proud of what I did, but I know that there's more in me, and that was what was eating me alive after games last year was people would compliment me and people would love us because we'd win these games, and I didn't feel like me. Now with my feet in the ground, I've stepped into the water and the sea is parted. I can see the goal. I'm moving towards it, and I'm excited to play this year.
You're talking about that goal being this year too, but there's a little bit of a longer range goal, and that would be the NFL. Do you allow yourself to think about that?
A little bit. I try not to get consumed in it. I think I did that my third year at Utah, and it was a little bit too much focus on, I got to get to the next level. Yeah. The best players know how to live in the moment, and the best players know how to perform in today. And so if I can handle one game at a time and get a sack against Utah Tech and get a tackle for loss and blow up my gap, well, then let's move on to Arizona and let's do that and so forth.
Yeah, and you got Arizona right off the bat. That's a huge conference game in week 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to get you fired up because whoever wins that game has a leg up.
Yeah. Yeah, as much as, people would classify it as a non-conference game, everyone's going to take it as that. And so we're looking forward to starting fast. That's a huge motto going into this year is we had 6 comeback victories last year. That's way too many.
Yeah.
We got to start fast from Utah Tech and then go into Arizona and stack. Just as the workouts we've stacked from start to finish, we're stacking games and we're excited to play Arizona. I just got to not get kicked out this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, come on. We're counting on you.
He's a hard QB to tackle, man.
Yeah.
Yes, he
is.
5'6".
Yeah, a little taller.
There's only a little bit rain. Yeah, he's a little taller. I got to make fun of him.
I had a premonition you're going to get him this year.
Oh, I'm going to get him.
Yeah, you'll get him.
Yeah, I got him in high school. He knows.
I was going to say,
I'm
did you
for
know Fafita personally? Because you obviously referenced him.
Yeah, we knew each other, and we texted. We've texted a lot over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I saw it. You'll get him. I enjoy that one.
Hey,
it's coming.
I was talking to one of your defensive coaches, and he mentioned, look, there's some losses there, but said Cade's turned a lot of eyes in camp. What have you seen out of him?
Cade is a downhill player. That man plays fast, and I love it. That's one reason that I feel a little bit more comfortable shooting gaps is I know he's going to have his, and I know he's going to make a play. If that ball is within 4 to 5 feet, he's leaving his feet, but he's downhill, and it takes him only a couple steps before he's making contact. So I love his downhill speed. I love the way that he plays, and he wants to hit. I mean, Bruce knows there was a blitz that happened in spring ball, and Cade gave it to him. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
Wish we'd have known that before.
I know, we just
asked
asked
Bruce about it.
I'm sure
we
he's
would have
not-
lit him up.
I'm sure he's not too brokenhearted about that.
You mentioned something about this, but I just want to read it. Obviously, the big question for people that talk about stuff like this is Jay leaving and Kelly coming in. As a defense, you're 100% confident in what Kelly can do and his abilities.
Absolutely. He's a hard-working man, and he's intelligent, and he has the energy. I love Coach K-Pop, and I think he's a BYU man through and through. Obviously, I think there's development to be had in everyone as he's taking over as a defensive coordinator. But I don't think that there's a man more dedicated to becoming the best defensive coordinator he can. He's definitely not as veteran as Jay Hill because it's his first year, but he's dedicated and he's committed, and that's who we are. I mean, we're men that are committed to our craft, but we're not professionals yet, and we're getting there. So as a collective unit, I'm excited.
You seem like a old soul, and I mean that in a good way. Like
he did at Utah. I interviewed him a bunch of times there. Always seemed it.
You have a bigger perspective on things than maybe a lot of young men your age. Where does that come from? To be able to have a bigger perspective on the long term plans as opposed to just what's in front of you right now.
From my upbringing, I'm just grateful to my mom and dad. They've blessed me with vision that supersedes the moments that we're living in. You live in the moment and you don't worry about the future, but you have to pay attention to it and you have to prepare yourself for success. And I think that came up from the gospel and understanding what's to come. And I think that came from great parents. That's who I've been born to. And it comes from, the baby coming soon.
Do you know, boy, girl?
It's a baby boy.
Nice.
We got a name?
Baby Sam.
Oh, I got a son named Sam. Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Perfect name.
Let's go.
Tight end, or are you going to have him on the interior?
Oh, he's playing O-line for sure.
Yeah.
With my wife's genes and my genes, if he's not playing basketball, he's playing O-line.
I love it. And, hey, congratulations, man. We're fired up for you.
Appreciate you, gentlemen.
All right, there is Keanu Tanuvasa. When we come back, hear from BYU's athletic director, Brian Santiago. 1 year on the job now, a little more than that, actually, I think. Brian Santiago coming up next. Stay with us. Good morning, DJ and PK. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up this morning, we're going to talk with RSL head coach Pablo Mastroeni at 8 o'clock. The World Cup break is almost over. They've got a game coming up Wednesday night. They're going to play an English team, and then a little tune-up game, a little something to get them going. They'll play Burnley, I think. And then they'll have a week off, and a week from Wednesday, they'll get back to it, and away we go. And coming back from these layoffs for Leagues Cup in previous years has been a problem. So I'm curious what they're doing differently, how they think they're addressing that. We'll talk about Pablo Mastroeni coming up at 8 o'clock. Also, Jake Scott's going to join us at 9. Apparently down at the Star in Dallas, when he and PK weren't doing a bunch of interviews, got in a huge argument about whether Cleveland should have re-signed Donovan Mitchell. And I get why Jake didn't want Cleveland to re-sign Donovan. But the cold, hard fact is you can't let him walk for nothing. You can't just let him walk away. And you can't really trade him for equal value. And if you don't believe me, take a look at the Boston Celtics. Believe me. Now, the Celtics were in a different deal because they had two max guys and they really had to move one. Whereas that's not Cleveland's situation. And they just got to the conference final for the first time. Now, is there a clear path forward for them? There is not. Maybe getting LeBron would help. But they can't get this close and just stop trying and let him walk. I think they had to sign him. He's got limitations. He doesn't always seem terribly interested in defending. I get all that. We'll get into that with Jake Scott coming up. And maybe there'll be a big blow-up. It could be awesome. PK said it got pretty fired up. And Alex Napolis, who's filling for Jake this week, was laughing because he saw it on the YouTube stream and thought it was hilarious. Apparently, they got pretty animated. So we'll talk with Jake coming up at 9. Right now, though, back to the Star in Dallas where the guys are talking to BYU Athletic Director Brian Santiago.
I'm great.
What's up, B?
I got to give a little love to my peeps. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
What's up, Tim?
Because you're making the rounds, and everybody wants to chat with you. But you know what? We'll keep it close to home for you. How are things?
Yeah, things are great. Super excited. Super excited. We're at this time of year where we're getting ready to launch into the best part of the fall, and that's when football kicks off. I'm a guy that just wants to get the focus as soon as possible back on the coaches and players and let them fly. And hopefully soon there's some order in college sports so we can get the focus back where it needs to be.
You feel like we might be on a path towards that?
Yeah, I mean, you guys heard the commissioner talk about the Protect College Sports Act. What we're all looking for is just some order, to find some sort of a platform, some sort of sustainable model that actually protects college sports. I don't think there's any AD in the country that's sitting around going, man, this is awesome. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Get another wheelbarrow of cash.
That it's so much fun to sit and figure out where you're going to come up with tens and 20s of millions of dollars, because there's got to be a sustainable model. Super grateful to be at a school where we've been blessed with resources and donors and corporate sponsors that are helping us navigate this. Super grateful to be at a school where we have an administration up through our president, Shane Reese, that is helping us navigate these tricky waters. But yeah, guys, like, we got to find some sort of sustainable model that the universities are going to be excited about, the coaches, the players, like, everyone's going to go, yeah, this is actually the way it's supposed to be.
So can I ask you a dumb question then?
There's no dumb questions.
If everybody, I believe you, ADs I'm sure wanted something, structure, something, right? And we've got bipartisan legislation that's in the works. So this is the dumb part. What's in the way? What's standing in the way?
Well, it depends on who you talk to, but a free market, right? I mean, you've got universities saying we need some structure and limitations and some caps, right, for a sustainable model. And then you have a whole wave of free agents saying we don't want any cap. We don't want any model. We want to be able to maximize everything we can do. I think that there are some out there and universities out there that are also advocating for no limits. But it's not a sustainable model. So, somebody was just asking me and using the words breaking away and what if all, and I'm like, yeah, as soon as you start talking about a college sports model that's all about breaking away,
you're going to lose people.
You're going to lose. To me, it's a lose proposition. I'm all about unifying. Like, how can we come together and get a model where everyone wants to be a part of it, everybody from presidents on down? You just have to look around the country. There are very few athletic departments operating in the black. Now, I know you guys know all about business. If you keep operating in the red year after year, it doesn't end well.
At least that's what I've heard, Brian. From my research, that's what I've heard.
But I say that very respectfully. We have to find a model that allows universities and athletic departments to operate in a sustainable way financially. Super grateful. I've said this to you guys before. I'm super grateful to be at a university where it's mandated. We don't have an option to operate upside down. We're going to operate with the principles that we've been taught, and we're going to try to make sure we're bringing in more than we're spending. And in athletics at BYU, we don't receive funds. Contrary to what everybody in the world believes, that we have unlimited funds because of the church, we have to be self-sustaining in athletics at BYU. We don't receive funds directly from the church and allocated funds. We're trying to make sure we operate in a model where our revenues exceed our expenses, and it's a mandate. So I'm just grateful to be at an institution that, not number one, mandates that. Number two, where we're fortunate enough to have the support to do that.
How juiced are you for this football team?
Let's go. I don't know.
Your guys seem great. The guys we talked to seem locked in.
You look at those guys that are here, starting with LJ and Bear. Keanu Tanuvasa is one of the great leaders in college football. I mean, you don't get better people than that. You got Glasgow here, Bruce Mitchell. I mean, who can tell me that story?
And Evan's awesome too.
And then you look at it, like all of them, Shmev, Evan, like all those guys, being with them last night, the energy, the connected nature of them, but the way they represent and they're stinking dang good football players. I know I get excited.
I love when he starts to lean forward.
But listen, these dudes can play football. They're the best dudes on planet Earth. But if you're just the best dudes on planet Earth and you can't play, you don't have a story to tell. That's what I love about what Kalani and our A-Rod got K-Pop moving in to that defensive coordinator spot. But the amount of talent that's in the program, the elevation of the program, the national relevance, knocking on the door of college football playoff, and then we get to tell the story of these guys. That's what gets me excited, because if we're not good, nobody cares. We have to be good. And we are great. And Kalani's elevated that program where we are nationally relevant and we've got a story to tell. It's unbelievable. It gets me fired up because, our whole goal is to go play great football. But there's a bigger purpose. We got to prepare and continue to prepare these guys to go fly. Those dudes that are here, those 6 guys, are going to go change the world. Those are incredible humans. And man, can they play football. I'm so excited to watch them play.
When you over the last, even I'd say the last 2 or 3 years, there's been a transition from, I'll use AJ for example. AJ signs at BYU and people are like, BYU. And now every 5-star recruit out there has a BYU logo as one of his final 4, final 5, that he's predicting. It went from, why BYU to, well, here's a 5-star, why is BYU not in his final 5? That transition's happened really quickly where it's cool to be at BYU. How did that happen so quickly?
Yeah, I give all the credit to our coaches and the elevation of the programs, but I don't want to miss the opportunity to give credit where credit's due. Our move to the Big 12 elevated it significantly as well. I mean, some of the best players in the country wouldn't consider BYU. Tim knows this firsthand of the battle that they had.
I thought it was just me.
The battle they had going into living rooms saying, hey, we want you to come to BYU. Oh, we respect your program. We love your program, but we want to play in this conference or that conference. That Big 12 elevation happened, but I also think the elevation of the national brand, the elevated brand of BYU nationally with the coaches, right? All of a sudden, the best players in the country are saying we want to go to BYU, right? They're, like you say, you're seeing it when Ryder Lyons gets up in front of the cameras. Recently with some of the other big recruits in the country, I'm going to BYU. People that aren't associated with BYU are choosing BYU. Right? We just happened with 2 or 3 of our football recruits in the room. Stand up and go, hey, I'm canceling trips to 2 or 3 other big schools. I'm coming right here. This is where I want to come. This feels like family here. It's part of who we are. It's our strength. And we're seeing more and more people outside of the BYU circle saying we want to be there. And then the big names that are associated with BYU and want to be at BYU are choosing BYU. It's a huge thing. But I give all the credit to the coaches and the student athletes, because really they're the ones on the front end of the recruiting. And at the end of the day, who do I want to really be around and be mentored by and coached by? I'm going to BYU, Kalani Sitake. I could name every guy on our staff. I want to be around Bear. I want to be around Keanu. I want to be around these players. Oh, Kevin Young has brought incredible credibility, right? AJ Dybantsa chose BYU because of Kevin Young and his ability, and the staff and the people around him, the support staff, but their ability to prepare him for what he's in right now, because KY had been there. And it's going to continue to happen. But I go a little further. You look down the line, Kihei Akina. The guy's one of the best in the country.
Seriously.
Why does he choose BYU? Because of the coaches, because of the brand, because of the history and the legacy. Jane Hendrickson, best in the country. Diljit Taylor. Why do they choose BYU? Because of the coaches. So I'm always, and Tim knows this being around me, I'm always going to point back to the people that deserve the credit. My responsibility is to make sure that the right coaches are in place, because if you have the right coaches in place, and I'm super humbled and grateful that Kalani chose BYU, continues to choose BYU, KY continues to choose BYU. We've got to make sure we have the right coaches in place, and then we're going to fly. This place is next level. I say it all the time, and I'm biased. There's no better place, and there's no better time to be part of BYU than right now.
So I give you a lot of credit after the Sorsby mess and the athletic director meeting. You jumped on with these two guys like the next day, and I thought it was a great interview, and I thought you were as transparent as you could be. And then we see other ADs say things and other reports come out, and I'm curious, what is the relationship like internally with the schools now, and what did you think of Brett Yormark's leadership through that particular crisis?
I thought the conference handled things really, really well. I love Brett Yormark's energy, his progressive nature. He's constantly trying to build the Big 12 brand. But specific to your question, I love that he talks about united, 16 strong. We got to be together. In the room, there's going to be tension. There are going to be issues that arise where there's tension. But it's always a focus on 16 strong, united front. Got to be together, resolve our issues inside, not outside. Right? I think it's critical. I think the Big 12 has done a masterful job in some tricky situations.
I'd say.
Handling it internal. We handle our business. We handle our struggles internally. Let's get it resolved. Let's get in the room. Let's make sure that we get things resolved. I'm super impressed with not just the Big 12 leadership, but our board, which are the presidents, the executive committee. You have some of the brightest minds out there leading the charge. They've done a great job of continuing to spread that message of 16 strong, united front.
I'm probably the only one, of this group that knows this, but above your door, the initials FAW.
Yeah.
Find a way.
Yeah.
And it's something you've been talking about since I met you way back when. How important has that been since you took over this position? To find a way. I mean, is every day a find a way thing?
Yeah, Tim, it's a great question. First of all, every time I hear that,
I'm a media member, CB.
I know.
Look
at you. Every time I hear that, I think about. First of all, I think about my coach, Gary Colson, who's passed on and is my guy, but he's the one that sent me that sign, and he always used to tell me when I was playing for him, he said, "B, what I love about you is you just always find a way. Like you never let up. You always find a way." And he sent me that wooden sign above my door. It just says FAW. And I just am someone that believes in life there's always a way. We can always find a way. It usually means that you got to have great relationships. You got to tie into other people. But in this role, Tim, just about it comes into play all the time, where challenges come, and what's the resolve? Right? Are we going to let it knock us down and put us underwater, or are we going to stand up and say, no, there's a way. We can find a way, and a great way that'll even make us stronger. And we said it going into COVID, we're going to come out of this stronger, and we did. Right? When a lot of things were going the opposite direction, every day we woke up, let's find a way we're going to come out of this stronger, and BYU came out of COVID stronger. Now in this current landscape with all the turbulence, our motive every day is to come out of it stronger. We're going to find a way. We're going to find a way to continue to elevate, keep this positive momentum going. You guys can feel it. There's a wave of positive momentum in Provo that we feel a huge responsibility to keep that momentum rolling.
I want to get a history lesson a little bit from you, because we were at a station function, and at that point we were owned by the Millers, and a good friend of ours, Don Sterling, with the Jazz. It was when you made the first pitch to the Big 12 that they decided to stay put for then. And I remember talking to him, and he said, Brian Santiago knocked that pitch out of the park. And he goes, I don't know if it's going to lead to anything tomorrow, but it's going to lead to something down the line. How much do you feel like the work that you put in early, you and your team, put in early, led to the success of being eventually into this conference?
Yeah, I think it's a super insightful question. Number one, I love Don Sterling, and he was super helpful in that process. We gathered probably 7 or 8 leaders around the state that had interest in BYU in a room, and we brainstormed, how are we going to elevate BYU's brand and our preparation to get into a power conference in a unique way that'll capture their attention. So there was a room full of really powerful minds. We came up with an all-in campaign that, to cut a long story short, we didn't get in that initial presentation in 2016. But the word that they used was extraordinary.
Yeah.
What you just presented to us was extraordinary. They were mind-blown on a number of fronts, including the fact, and it goes back to this financial viability. What do you mean, they asked us, that you don't have any institutional debt? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Let us explain it to you. Our sponsoring institution. But this is what happened. Fast forward, and there were reasons we didn't get in then. There were media reasons, there were financial reasons. I'm not disclosing anything, it leaked out there. There was reasons for them to stay where they stay put. But what happened when Texas and Oklahoma left? All that work we had done, the word came back. We already know who you are from 2016. You're an extraordinary institution. And they invited us. We were gearing up for another presentation. How are we going to convince them? And their words were extraordinary. We already know who you are. We want to, and they called Tom and said, we want to invite you to be part of the Big 12. That was huge. But that preparation, what was put together and all that work behind the scenes had already painted the picture to where we didn't need to go try to convince anyone again. They already knew what was happening, and we were able to launch really into a whole new world for college athletics in BYU. Being part of the Big 12 has elevated the BYU brand in a massive way. And I hear from people all over the world that are part of Cougar Nation say, oh, if this is what it's going to be, we're in. We're in. What do you need to continue to elevate? Because now when you talk about universities that are in, our name's right there. People are college football, they're talking about BYU. College basketball, they're talking about BYU. College, you name it, they're talking about BYU. We're super excited about the future and what's to come.
Being quarterback at BYU is something special.
It's amazing.
It's a long line, and I guess a two-part question. One, how is Bear Bachmeier handling the, on the field we see it, but the off the field, the celebrity, and just how much does having a QB1 at BYU mean to the entire athletics department?
Yeah, Bear is a very unique leader, I would say. He has a very interesting way about him that's handling this in an extraordinary way. He's just Bear. You guys have been around him. He doesn't try to put on. We're in our executive meeting the other day. We're all up there talking about all things college sports, and in walks Bear with his guitar, shorts and a T-shirt and flip-flops. Sits down, starts playing and singing to us. Sounds like another person I know.
Yeah, sounds like our staff meeting.
FaceTime you, baby.
Yeah. But here was the thing about it is I think he just has a humility about him and a quiet confidence that allows him to just elevate as QB1. And that leadership, we all know when you're the QB1, all those guys in front of you, all those guys behind you, they want to migrate to someone that they know has that quiet confidence that's going to make everyone around them better. And that's what I think Bear does. I watch him interact with our guys even on this trip. He's got a presence about him that is different. It's unique. I don't pretend to be a in-the-weeds football guy. I'm a passionate football guy from a standpoint of support and all those things for Kalani. But a week or two into fall camp last year when they were still trying to measure everything, I watched for a couple of days and I just walked up and said, one of these is not like the other. And I have no idea what X's and O's are going on in the field, but one of these guys is not like the others. He just had a presence about him that was super impressive.
And that to me is that stuff doesn't happen. We're talking about, teams that are packaging millions of dollars to go get a quarterback at schools like BYU.
Right.
And then this guy does what he does last year. It's fascinating.
Bear on the loose.
Yep.
When you look across where college athletics is right now, and there's a lot of people, and I love the fact that you brought up COVID too, because COVID broke a lot of people.
Yep.
But it broke a lot more people than it made, because there were a lot of people that were shutting their doors and just saying, okay, we can't do anything. And I loved when you guys said, no, we can play. And the SEC said, no, we can play. And it just kind of stopped everybody for a moment and been like, hey, these guys are going to try this. Maybe we should be pretty quick. And then the NIL thing, which I agree, there needs to be guardrails, there needs to be a system. But there's also okay, what can we do to take this to our advantage? Yeah. Where does that mindset come from where BYU has turned into you know what, let's not let a crisis go to waste. Let's take advantage of opportunities that are available to us.
Yeah, I like it's opportunity. And you just used the word, it's opportunity. Like in those moments, oftentimes in adversity is when we define our excellence. And in those moments, Tom, myself, president at the time, like everyone was all in to say, what kind of opportunity, what can we do to make this great? How can we come out of this stronger? We can just all take our ball and go to the corner and hide. Or we can say, hey, let's go. Like, let's go find a way. And that's exactly what we ended up doing. And at the time when we were independent, we actually had a chance to put all those games together. Is there anybody else that'll play? Everybody said, let's play, and boom. We were able to capitalize on it, put together a schedule. I give credit to Tom. Because he kind of took the lead in putting that schedule together. But our team, our coaches, everybody was like, let's go, let's be in. Let's find a way to test so that we can actually go get on a plane and go. Like we put all of our resources in and found ways to make it happen. You guys know this about life. It doesn't just happen. You got to go make it happen. And that's what we were able to do but it was a combined effort. You got to go make stuff happen. That's why we were able to come out of COVID stronger.
You got a 40-yard dash in you today?
Yeah, I do. My legs are a little tired. I ran 6 miles yesterday. I don't do that very often.
Where'd you play this morning?
Didn't play this morning. I wanted to.
Okay.
It's load management today. Okay. It's load management, but
I got some hookups here. I'm sure you do too.
No, let's go. It's super nice to be with you guys.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. It means a lot.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
All right, there's Brian Santiago. The headlines are next. What is trending? Stay with us.